Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Zay coming out to another video. And in this video, I'm gonna be talking about Teccas new album. It was pretty dope. Before we get into the video, keep this thing short. Sorry if I didn't post in like probably a week or so. I was actually working on a video for my second channel, um, called Bottom of the Bucket. You should go subscribe there. If you guys want to see things that are like more funny, get to see the funny side of me. Boy, they done smoked my man's right in front of me. No, you don't want to dance?
I live in Smethwick, Birmingham. If you want to
dance?
fucking brawl, come down Smethwick,
No,
ask
you
for
don't wanna
Danny G.
dance?
I'll come out my house and I'll break your fucking legs, you little prick.
No, you don't want to dance?
No, fucking say! Shut up, your fucking dance box at your phone, son. Come to Birmingham and I'll fuck you up. Come to Birmingham now and I'll fuck you up.
Okay. Go check out that channel. It's totally amazing. You're gonna love it. You're not gonna regret it. Link will be in the description. But with all that being said, let's just get into the video. Alright, so I just listened to Teccas new album. Let's talk about the music. I think this was pretty solid. This was a pretty solid Tecca drop of songs. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty nice. If it's one thing Tecca can always do, is he can always bring up an upbeat type of feel. Like these songs on here is like something I would listen to in the car on like a sunny day, like, and I'd just be happy. Like, if just for no reason, I'd be happy. Comparing it to like, I guess his older We Love You Tecca 2, which was still Tucker's best thing, but I don't know, I feel like maybe this is probably a little bit below it, or maybe even equal to it, my opinion at least. But it was amazing. I think it was really really solid. Like, I can't really say that I don't really have too much to say about it. He had like nice beautiful synths in there. I love some of his delivery. It isn't really it has some substance in there, especially like something like I believe Used to This or Salty, one of those two songs, where he kind of talks about people being fake and all that stuff. And I thought that stuff was pretty cool. It's nothing that's never been not talked about, and it's not like it's been constantly talked about in music. You know what I mean? I feel like it's only really so much you can talk about in music, in honesty. But again, digress. Still pretty solid song. Loved it. Most of the songs on here was him by himself, which I don't mind actually, because I think Tecca does an amazing job by himself. I really can't say the same with like if he were to collab with someone. It's like kind of okay-ish, I guess. But he had one with Ken Carson. It was cool, whatever. Not really too crazy about that one. But yeah, it was okay. Oh yeah, he also had one with had a song with Kodak, which was pretty good too. I feel like I don't know. I feel like maybe Kodak did better than him on that, but it was pretty decent. Now, I haven't heard about Tecca or even seen anything that's crazy from Tecca since he's been kind of gone. Obviously, he hasn't really been, at least I don't think he has been really been focusing on music that much, more or less like being like in a sense of like establishing himself more. But outside of like the music scene and stuff like that, that's what I'm talking about. But he's been doing his channel's definitely been growing a lot more. So people love Tecca, and I love Tecca too. Tecca is a good artist. I really love his stuff. But it seems he's came out of that. Maybe this might be just one of his songs where he just like he just drops just for the fun of it, like just for the fun of it again, and then like he'll probably go back on his like quiet hiatus from music and rapping and all that stuff. But pretty good though. Let me tell you guys a little bit of my favorite songs from there, and they would be 500 Pounds, Tech, Salty, Want It Bad. Dead or Alive was probably my favorite out of all of them. You Don't Know Tecca, Used to This, Either Way, and Monday to Sunday was really good as well. Like, it was amazing. I really love Monday to Sunday and Dead or Alive. I think Tecca really does create these good type of like mellow, upbeat kind of vibes. something you can just like listen to while you're just talking with friends, or have it going on in a party, or you just riding around and you just have it on. I think Tekka does really good at creating those type of songs in those type of environments. I definitely think that this was better than Virgo World, as Virgo World was kind of I mean, it wasn't really interesting to me. In all honesty, I didn't really care for it too much. The only ones I really cared about was We Love You Tekka 1, We Love You Tekka 2, and then actually this one, which I'm gonna just call, I think it's called, I'm gonna just call it Tech. But loved it. Amazing. But you know what? Actually, I think that I would say that this is actually slightly better than We Love You Tekka 2. I think the songs. I think there's a lot more songs that I like on here than I could say for We Love You Tekka 2. But I would say it's probably right along. It's like it's super close though. I wouldn't say it's drastically different of a gap, but I wouldn't say that it's like under it either. Like I take that back when I says under. I think I say it's this if it's as good as Tekka 2 or just slightly better. So I looked up a GQ article and about Tech actually, Tekka's thing. And one of the questions GQ asked him were, "What are you trying to go for on Tech?" So that is what the album is called, or tape, or whatever it was. That is what it's called, Tech. That was not on your previous record. And Tekka responded by saying he wanted to embrace different production, be a little bit more vulnerable in topics, which I can definitely say that I agree he definitely has been on this album. I'm gonna just say album for the sake of it, album. And yeah, he's I don't feel as if it was, to me, I don't feel as if it was overly vulnerable. It was like just a smidge, just a little bit of vulnerable, like just like a sprinkle of it in there. But another thing GQ asked him was, what in particular are you trying to talk about more? And Tekka's response was on Tech, I'm really trying to speak about what I want to be in the future, stuff that he's went through in the past, and a little bit more personal things. And he wanted to make it feel as if you were having these conversations with him. And I mean, I can definitely say in some, I wouldn't say if this was his goal to do this, I wouldn't say he did it all that well, in honesty. Like, I feel like he could have been a little bit more vulnerable. But again, it's being vulnerable. That's a very hard thing to really do. So like, I understand him being vulnerable, but vaguely vulnerable, if that makes sense. Because that's what it kind of felt like. It kind of felt like he was being vulnerable. He was being serious. Like he was talking about it, but he wasn't really diving into it. He just like mentioned it, and it was just like, oh, okay, it went over. You know what I'm saying? Went over, rolled over his shoulders. But to get much more on the deeper side, I feel as if Tekka would have had to essentially change up the style of his music from what he's previously done, which would be the upbeat, vibey kind of like, again, like almost like you're driving like a fast car or something like that, almost like on a sunny beach, like you're just driving, just having fun, like those kind of vibes. I feel like he would have to trade that in for a much more melancholic, more sadder, more depressed kind of vibe to it, which I don't think he probably wanted to do in the first place. But yeah, he definitely would have had to change his tone up a bit much more in the beat selection and the songs and what he said in it to get much more of a vulnerable impact on it. But let's go to the third thing actually, and GQ actually asked him, what is the process of doing much more personal stuff for you like? And he said Tekka's response was definitely a little bit more patient, because when talking about these things that mean something to you, you don't want to convey them in a wrong way. But not all the songs are super personal in an emotional way or in a venting way, which I definitely agree. It definitely wasn't. Now a lot of the songs were much more upbeat, more. Well, he's actually going to say it actually, but yeah. So it says some of them are telling you a brand I'm rocking down to fabrics, my sales associates. It's definitely a mix of motivational hype for sure. And that's where I want to say it's a lot more motivational. That's the word I wanted to be able to convey. It's a lot more motivational in this. And I feel like that's just Tekka in general though. He's a lot more much more of a motivational person when he talks on songs. But again, it's like I also said as well. It's he said some things, but he didn't really say some things in the album. Like he said some things, like he more of like a mention of it, but he didn't really go deep into it, which is like, it's okay, I guess. I don't really have a problem with that, but it would have been probably better, in my opinion, if he would have gone a little bit, just to stretch it a little bit more deeper into the topics of his stuff. But hey, it is what it is. But anyway, you guys, I don't want to keep you guys held up. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. And don't forget again to check out my second channel. It's called Bottom of the Bucket. Go subscribe there. I got funny content that I drop on there. You're gonna love this series, especially the Gotham series. And with all that being said, I love you, Dark Knights.
Baby, come and jump on it, and up on it. Let's do it. Ride it, up on it, in my saddle, baby.